Unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum. With Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer, I bear witness that there is none worth worship besides Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. I want to apologize to everyone. We didn't have a lot of time to open the lines today for us to talk and exchange greetings, but so we want to get started. It's after 10 o'clock. I like to start on time so we can end on time and respect everyone's time that we spend together. So I want to welcome our family, Sister Zakina, her son Adnan, and her son Yusuf. Assalamu alaikum. So I can't tell you how excited I am to have you here. I read your cover story on the Richmond Times newspaper, and it was very inspiring. And I just thought that the whole community should hear your story. So let us begin with introductions. Sister Zakina, first introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Sakina McDowell. I am a mother to 9 beautiful, healthy children. I have a husband named Omari Gray, and with us today we have Yusuf. Raise your hand, Yusuf. And then we have Adnan. Yusuf is 17 and Adnan is 16. These are 2 of my main workers that help us on the farm.
And welcome, Adnan and Yusuf. Thank you for taking time out of your day to be with us, to be with the community. Sister Zakina, before we get started about Fitra Farms, share with the community your story.
Okay, so again, my name is Sakina. I have a husband named Omari Gray. We used to live in the Northern Virginia area. My husband was a teacher. We kind of got tired of the we decided to sell our home and all our belongings, buy an RV, travel the East Coast looking for land. We had this idea that we wanted to be able to grow our own food. We were more into eating healthy, but the cost of it, having a large family, was difficult to maintain. So we had this idea that we're going to build our own home and do everything ourselves. So we traveled the East Coast, found some land in Orange, Virginia, and purchased 22 acres of land. And from this point, my husband he was commuting to DC every day as a teacher, and we were studying this farm adventure. And I want to say it was this was in year 2018. So we're new to farming. We've never done this before. My husband's from Long Island, New York. His name is Omari Gray. And we just decided to learn and kind of, get into it, by just doing. So we started growing our own food. We started raising animals. And then we had some friends that pretty much wanted to raise, they asked us to raise some animals with them, they wanted us to raise their animals. So we were doing that, and more people wanted this. And so we decided to start Fitra Farms, where we would sell pasture-raised, hand-slaughtered Zabiha meat. So we were 3 months into this process of this new farm, and tragedy struck us. My husband was coming back from DC making a delivery, and he had a head-on collision with a tractor trailer. We were told that it was a very big accident, and from it we were told that my husband had no brain activity, he could not breathe on his own. So we took him off of life support, and at this time my husband was a very active member of our community. He was a teacher. He was also a basketball coach, Boy Scout leader, did a lot of things with the youth in the community. So many people very fast found out about this accident. And du'as around the world was happening. People were praying from everywhere, and but you know, it is. I understood it is what it is. Allah's decree. You know that said that Omari was not going to be here anymore. We took him off of life support because it was so. He had bleeding on the brain. He was down without oxygen for a amount of time. He had extensive fractures to the skull, to hemorrhaging. So we took him off of life support. And the following day, we were preparing his janaza. I got a call to say that he was still alive and that he was with us. And he was an extremely healthy man before this accident. So I do believe that played a immense part. So, you know, the next day they said he was still alive, and he wound up being in a coma for 3 months and then continued to be in a persistent vegetative state for 2 additional months. The doctors told us he was not going to have a quality of life. There was not much that could be done, and that we need to prepare for the worst, that he was not going to have a quality of life. But, you know, Allah is capable of anything and everything. And it was, you know, I do have this belief that you can't ask Allah for anything you don't believe in. So with yaqeen, with certainty, I pray to Allah that make Omari better than he was before. And this continued throughout his recovery. And as he was recovering, he, mashallah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, he recovered to the extent that he has no injury. He does have a traumatic brain injury that was from the car accident, but he was a math teacher. He still could do calculus problems, you know, so, but he has extensive memory issues. So the last 20 years of his life has been difficult for him to remember. So we're just trying to, you know, every day, you know, bring that back for him. And yeah, it's been a journey. You know, we were told that it's going to be a while because it was a brain injury. And then he does deal with some external issues, him range of motion, his body. It's kind of like you don't use it, you lose it. So he has contractures. So we're working on stretching his body to get it straight. His neck, it was stuck in one position, so making it straight. He does have some issues with his voice because his vocal cords were damaged from the trach. But alhamdulillah, it seems that he can recover from. So we're working on it. He goes to rehab every week for physical, occupational, and speech therapist. And since his car accident, it was very important to him, this farm. And because he was a teacher, he believed in getting kids out of the cities and into, you know, wilderness and doing things with their hands and growing things. So last year, we decided to start back Fitcher Farm because when he got into the car accident, we stopped. We had to focus on his recovery. And last year, we decided to start back up. So here we are. So I am now running the farm with my boys and with my girls and the whole family while he focuses on recovering. And yes, that is.
Well, when did this happen again, Sister Zakina?
Well, this happened June of 2020, so about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And so how is he doing now? How is he doing now?
So he is, mashallah, for the amount of injury he had, he is doing exceptionally well. So he suffers from memory issues. So this is the thing. Before, my husband's from Long Island, New York. So, and he converted to Islam about 22 years ago. So his memory goes back to that point.
Wow.
When he was in New York. So having a farm, and this is all new for him. He has got to learn that again, the ideas he had, the passion he had for this. So, you know, that's the biggest thing he's dealing with is the memory issue. his cognitive, mashallah, I'm just shocked that, I mean, this is a man that had to learn how to talk, walk, everything, like learn from like as if he was a baby. He had to learn how to do all these things all over. So now he's written 2 books. He's written 2 books. So he's planning to get those published. The first one within the next month, inshallah. And he's used a lot of his time. He's become a writer because his physical is not the same, right? He's using a walker, and that's because both of his legs aren't completely straight. And before the car accident, he was a personal trainer. So very fit guy, very active, you know. And so this has been challenging, but he was a very busy guy. So he's using his time to write and to think and to teach and to reflect. So he's been working with our kids with school and writing his book. So the physical aspect of the farming, he's not able to partake in yet. But he, inshallah, with dua and with Allah behind us, I believe that he will make a full recovery, inshallah.
So first of all, I want to thank you for sharing that story with us, because it's a very important story, because you have managed with the boys to keep Fitra Farms going. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
My understanding is that in what I read in the newspaper was that you also have a government contract, or you are stamped of approval by the government to sell. So explain that. So I understand that. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. So we are one of the first farms in Virginia. Now, to get hand slaughtered, it's very difficult to get into a USDA facility, let alone get a hand slaughtered. It's just, they don't do that. So getting red meats, large ruminant slaughter is impossible in Virginia. So we actually went through a program, a USDA program, where it allows farm. But the facility comes out. But we had to go through some training, and they only took 20 people with the program. And we were the Muslims that did it, me and 4 of my boys.
Wait. When you say
hear me
we,
okay?
yes, when you say we, you're talking about yourself and who? Adnan or Yusuf, feel free to jump in here when you're.
And Fisher Farms, pretty much.
What
It was all
Farms, me and the 4 boys. I have 4 teenage boys.
Okay.
And yes, I can introduce those.
You and the 4 boys?
Yes.
Okay. So you right now, so you have how many children?
I have 9 children. I have 4 teenage boys and 5 younger girls.
Wow. Okay. So let's I mean, that's a feat in its own, but let's continue. So you continue about the program.
So through this USDA program that Virginia State University got the funding for, it allows the USDA mobile process unit to come onto the farm. So that means that we can process our own lamb, goat, beef, and be hand slaughtered and be USDA stamped, which before it wasn't. So we could only do on-farm processing. When a customer comes and buys a whole goat, they slaughter it. We weren't allowed to do it. So this allows us to be able to start shipping to outside of the state. It pretty much says we had to go through training for this. And yeah, we are the first of 20. We're the only Muslims in Virginia that are able to now provide retail lamb, goat through USDA.
So for the audience that's listening, where are you located exactly?
We are located in Gordonsville, Virginia, which is about 20 minutes outside of Charlottesville. It's about an hour from Richmond an hour and a half from DC. It's like centrally located where it's, it's a little bit in between these larger cities. So we make home deliveries. I can go through my presentation for that if you like.
But but also those who want to support and buy from you, because because everything with on your farm is halal, is it as well as organic? Because there is a so it's
yes,
organic halal.
Yes, it's organic halal. So that's one of the reasons why we started our farm, because we were not finding that. We were not finding where it was either a choice between having, halal chickens that were raised in these massive chicken houses and they're not raised correctly, or going to Whole Foods and buying, healthy, organic, but it's not zabiha. It's not permissible for us to eat. So that's why we started our farm in the first place, for just our family to be able to have the combination of this. So we raise our animals completely on pasture with no hormones, no antibiotics, no GMOs, nothing. Like old fashioned, the way animals used to be raised. So
I know you have prepared a PowerPoint, but I want to go to the boys for a second, and forgive me for calling boys because you're young adults, and so
I refer to them as boys too.
Yusuf, I understand that you guys do tours at the farm. Tell me what a tour is like. What does that consist? First, before you do that, Yusuf, tell me what your day is like on the farm.
So we have a time where we wake up at 6 a.m. We first pray Fajr, and then all four of the brothers, we get up and we go outside, put our boots on, and my job responsibility, I feed the chickens. We raise about 1,000 chickens, so we have about 200. We have about 500 in the tractor that we have on grass, and we have about 500 that's on pasture, and it's pretty much from 6 to 8, I have where I feed the broilers. And then from 8, we get up, and then we have other projects. We do like fence projects. We're building fences, building structures. That's probably days from like 10. And then on that other days, probably from 11, 12, we'll have where we do some schoolwork. And pretty much from that, we'll probably, we eat breakfast. That's before probably like 10.
A little bit off.
A little bit, yeah, somewhere very much that. But after that, we pray Dhuhr, and then Asr, then we probably have pretty much the day to do as we like, pretty much. Yeah.
Wow, do as you like. That doesn't even sound like I'm trying to find time in my day. I'm ashamed of myself in listening to you talk about your day. I should never, ever, ever complain again about trying to find time in my day. Adnan, describe for me what your day is like.
So as like in the morning, the same thing. We wake up, we pray Fajr, then from 6 to 8, we do all of our animals. My job is the cow. I would, do anything with the cow, milking the cow. And then some other projects we also might do. Then from 8 to 10, 8 to 9, that's where we eat breakfast and clean up too. Then from 10 to 1, that's when we do schooling. So that's around, a couple of hours we do schooling. Then from 1, that's when we're able to do, whatever we like, all of our brothers and sisters have different things that we like to do. So Yusuf, he would like to build some furniture that he would like to do. My brother Abbas, he's like art. Myself, I like survival stuff, making fires, building things, in the forest and stuff. So we're all, after that, we have to do whatever we want. So yeah.
So your other brothers and sisters have responsibilities as well. Just briefly, Adnan, give the age of your brother or sister and describe some of their responsibilities.
Okay. So Abbas, he's the youngest brother of the four, and his job is to take care of the goats, the dogs, the rabbits too. And then we have Muhammad. He is the farm manager, so he will watch us, make sure everything's clean, make sure we're all doing stuff. And Muhammad's the oldest one. He's 19, I think. So yeah, he's the one who watches us, make sure we do all the animals, and so yeah.
And Adnan, you're 16, is that correct?
That's correct.
And Yusuf, you're 18, is that correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
And so, Yusuf, I'm sitting here listening and I'm saying to myself, we all have challenges in our life, but your family is just listening to the responsibilities that each one of you carry. It brings such a smile on everyone's heart. They're just typing it, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, because it's just unreal. So let me ask you, Yusuf, so what primarily, so are you, not Yusuf, but Adnan, are you homeschooled?
Yes, we're all homeschooled. We've been homeschooled for most of our life. So that's,
wow.
That, we really
like
enjoy.
4 hours in the day that we have our schoolwork that we do. Pretty much we went to school, I think, back in 2009. That was only for like a year period, but then we got out and became homeschooled.
Only 3 months.
Yeah.
And so who is homeschooling you? I know not Sakina. Sakina, are you homeschooling them? You're the teacher?
Yes.
She's frozen. One of the boys answer, please.
Oh yes, she homeschools us, and so when we're doing
so she does mainly our independent.
It's frozen.
Adnan, Yusuf is frozen. Finish your point.
Oh, Yusuf, you can. Frozen.
Oh, I thought you. Sorry about that. But so we are mainly our independent. Us doing schoolwork, she does help out, like if we need something like instructive or what any subject that we need done, she does help out with that. But we have our schoolwork where we wake up and then gives us our books, and then we go on the computer, we do a curriculum called Khan Academy, sometimes Calvert, that we do independently, but she will help out sometimes when we need. Yeah.
So Yusuf, you're still pursuing your education. You're 18, you're still pursuing your education.
Yes, I'm going into 12th grade. Yeah, no, yes.
Wow.
I'm planning to go to college, UVA. That's pretty much, I think, 30 minutes from here in Gordonsville. I'm planning to go next year.
And are you pursuing agriculture or something to do with the farming, or are you studying something different? Yes,
so I'm still in the decision phase, but I'm pretty much planning to go like e-commerce business or finance, pretty much, yeah, or become an agriculture engineer.
So there's a question.
Either one of those, yeah.
I'm sorry. So there's a question, Sakina. The community wants to know: are you shipping nationwide? Can someone answer that? Your mom's frozen right now. Adnan, you are shipping. You do ship.
Okay, yes. So we're in. Yeah.
So can someone put in the text? Can someone type in the text all of your information? Your Sakina, can someone type in the text all your information, where you can be contacted, how people can order, your telephone number, your email? Can someone please put that in the text? Okay.
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
A minute.
No, Sakina, you wanted to make a point. Please go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, say that again, Sister Fitness.
So the community wants to know: are you shipping nationwide?
Yeah, so we actually start shipping Monday.
I'm sorry.
We start our first shipping next Monday. So this is exciting for us.
Akbar. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm asking one of the one of your sons if they would type in the chat box how the community can order from you.
Yes.
Okay, now let's talk about the security. I know you're going to play a PowerPoint, but I'm telling you, I want to go 2-3 hours with you. Of course I can't, but everyone on this, we have 200 people. I'm expecting that 200 people will be contacting you. So
Okay.
the immediate area around you is Richmond, you have DC, you have all of the Carolinas. And so all of them should be supporting your business. And we're expecting that they will. You have New York. I got somebody just text me from New York, says that they'll be ordering from you. I certainly will be ordering from you. And so we've talked about your day. We've talked about the younger siblings that are involved. Let's go to the PowerPoint. This is again, I think that's very telling. We want to support your business. We want to help you grow. We want to help you be successful. Businesses in our community is very, very important. And I don't know of any other. Let me ask Zakina while you're walking, let me ask one of the Adnan or Yusuf. So during Eid al-Ahad, you slaughter at the farm? Do you slaughter at the farm? Of course you do. And so our schools.
Yes, we have.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we do have what we slaughter at the farm. We do about, I think this year, we did about, I think 50 lambs that we did, but we do it on the farm. And we have families that come, they picnic, they grill, they, do the Eid celebration that they're, enjoying. So yeah, we do the lambs at the farm.
Someone is asking what is the name of the farm, and I'm so proud to say it's called Fitra's Farms.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I've never heard anybody use the name Fitra besides me, and then to see a family so blessed, I feel so blessed myself. I'm so excited. I'm sorry.
The name Fitra means like purity, innocence, like the inner peace when someone's born. Fitra Farm goes everything with what we're trying to do.
So Zakina, are you ready to show your PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, let's move to that.
Yeah, and I send in a chat our farm name. So if you guys want.
You said repeat what you said. Oh, go ahead.
In the group chat, I send the name of our farm, fitrafarms.com. So if you click on the link, you'll get to our website.
Wow.
Okay. Can you guys see the PowerPoint?
Yes, we see it.
Is it showing? Okay. So this is Fitra Farms. We're an organic halal farm. We actually just halal is permissible. The biha means it is killed in accordance to the law of Allah, so the Sharia. So this is just a quick overview of our journey of when we started.
Yes.
We moved from Northern Virginia, 2018, bought an RV. We bought 22 acres of land in Orange, Virginia. And we decided to start farming. We're living on for some time. Then in April of 2020 is when we actually started up Fitra Farms. We actually officially called it a farm. We were selling at that point. We launched our website. So come June 2020, my husband was in a car accident. And we decided to put the farm on hold for a bit to focus on getting, everybody. It was a big change for all of us, with my husband being the leader of the home, and now the boys have to kind of, step up more, and we have to adjust to this new life that we now June 2021, we started back up. We got another property. The house that we were living in 2020, my husband was in a car accident. It wasn't appropriate for my husband because he was in a wheelchair. So we needed to get a 1-story house for him. So we got another property. It was a 5-acre property in June 2021. And we were able to start the farm back up, but we were starting from scratch with a lot of our infrastructures. We had to build barns again, fencing. And so we were excited. We were back in. It was busy. We decided to expand. In June 2021, we were only doing chickens and poultry, but we had a dairy cow for our family. But more and more people were saying that they wanted raw milk. So in Virginia, raw milk is illegal. So we started something called a herd share, which allows customers to own their shareholders in the farm, which allows them to get milk because of it. Okay. And then in October 2021, we decided to offer more products. We start offering lamb, goat, beef, eggs, even some honey for a little bit of time. And this year of 2022, we had our first workshop where we had about 10 people come and learn how to do a backyard processing of their chickens. This is the main thing that we're trying to move people into, to try to do this themselves if they're able to. So this was our first real workshop where it got to the core of what we wanted to do originally. And inshallah, this month we will start school tours and camps for people to be able to come and children camp out indoors. We've been doing tours when people come to the farm. We give them a family. It could be just a family tour, but now we're going to do more larger tours where we're actually doing a tour and workshops along with it, where kids can milk cows. You can see how we process animals, getting into the garden, compost, and all of that. Okay. So this is our web. Our phone number on there, but yes, Fitra Farm. Okay. A little bit about us. Again, we started at the homestead. We believe in homeschooling, home birthing, home building. This is kind of we kind of do it ourselves approach with most things, even our health, taking charge of your health, knowing what's wrong, doing homeopathy. My husband, he's an educator. He's been teaching for 22 years. I come from a military family. I had a mother as a drill sergeant, a father, command sergeant major in the military. So I have a very a military style approach. So with our parenting styles, it balances off for the children, where they're getting the positive reinforcement from my husband and consequences and all that from me. So that's just a little bit about, what we're doing. Okay. And our philosophy with the farm I'm breaking up.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Right.
Okay.
Sorry, start that over. You're breaking up.
I'm breaking up?
No. At that moment, you were.
Okay. So we believe in having a multi-crop type farm, not nowadays you see the very monocrop farms where it's just growing corn or just a particular type of commodity. We believe in having animals and growing things where it all works together. It's like a biodiversity where it builds the soil up. One of my big philosophies is self-sufficiency. And this is so that way we have to start to want better and eat better. And then once you're doing that, finding a way where you're not dependent upon having to get that healthier food from someone else. So even though we do sell our products, our end goal is to get people to start doing this themselves. it could be small scale. We're planning to put videos out. We have started a YouTube channel. It doesn't have much on it, but we'll be putting more videos. We're teaching people how they could start from where they are and learning and pretty much passing this down to our children. So we're not caught up in the system of having to depend on, for the most important things of our life is food. We don't want to have to depend on the grocery stores to do that. COVID has pretty much should kind of be a learning lesson for us. Victor, can you hear me okay? Okay. We went into the grocery store during COVID, and I went because people were hoarding food. The grocery stores started to, limit how much people can buy. And I went into the grocery store, and they were only permitting me to buy 2 cans of this or 2 cans of that, and trying to explain to them, like, no, I have a large family. And that was scary to me to know that, they weren't allowing me to buy this. I went to another store. They said, no, we can't, this is our policy. So that was a big wake up call for us that, we're moving towards an era where things aren't stable. So we have to know that the one thing that we are able to do is provide our food. So we started this whole farm to teach children and adults how to do this. And the whole idea is that my husband being from Long Island, New York, me growing up overseas in different countries, we weren't around this. We weren't around farming. And so it's kind of like, if we could do this, you could do this. Like, you don't have to be a farmer, come from a farming family to know how to grow your own food. You don't. It's not that difficult. It just takes a will to want to know. So this picture is saying a lot without saying a lot. So, I captured this picture, and the reason why I put this here is because it shows that my daughter, we work as a team. We don't discriminate, girls, boys, everybody do work in this household, whether it's the boys in the kitchen, the girls outside digging. In this picture, we were planting our trees for our orchard. In the background, you can see our beehive, that we have our bees. And then further in the back, there's a building that my son built using free wood to build a goat house. And this pretty much sums up to me what we're trying to do, where we're using our resources around us and our own hands to get things done. So just a little quick picture just to show you a little bit. So on the farm, we have chicken, we have all the different type of poultry, chicken, turkey, duck. What is different, I believe, about what we're doing is that we do not have soy in our supplemental feed. And this is very important for us. Soy has been connected with many cancers, and we just don't want it in our food. It's one of those ingredients.
You're breaking up again.
Okay.
Sister Fitcher, you might be on mute.
Adnan and Yusuf, you should feel free to continue the conversation because you're just as involved in the farm as your mom is. Feel free to jump right in.
Okay, so I'm using his audio.
Okay.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
So we're also doing raw milk, which allows customers to get a herd share where they.
I'm gonna answer some of the questions in the chat.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So let me ask you.
Oh, my screen isn't sharing anymore.
Zakina, let me ask you this question regarding your tours, because we're going to be looking at our weekend school coming down to visit the farm. Do you have cabins for the young people for people to sleep in overnight?
Well, we're in the process of finishing up one cabin, but we're planning to do mostly tent camping. We have pasture where people will be able to camp out in a tent. And yes.
So you have camping grounds right now?
Yes.
Okay, so our Boy Scouts, because we also have a Boy Scouts, I want to encourage everyone, families, schools, groups. I'm coming to spend the night. Now, I don't know if I can sleep in a tent, but
right.
I'm gonna conjure up some strength and do something, because I want to come down and visit. I definitely want to come down and visit. But so right now you do have. Let me ask you this. Is there an area, if like say someone drives a camper down, is there an area where they could park their camper?
Yes. We have an area where they can park. We have bathrooms. Bathrooms.
Oh, so you have bathrooms and showers. I can't hear you, Zakina. Adnan and Yusuf, feel free to jump in.
Yeah. So we do have bathrooms. We have a bathroom, and we have where you could take a shower. We have Wi-Fi. We have area where someone could park a camper, and we are expanding our 22 acres to be able to accommodate more people. This is our larger project that we're going to be working on. It's going to take some years to get it to where we want it. But for right now, though, we can accommodate small groups of people, not too large.
Okay.
But yes, but we're moving towards, because we have the other property that's where the goal was, to build these cabins that, individual families and, groups of kids can stay in for, tours in schools.
So Adnan, with you, let me ask you, what would you say to the parents who are listening right now, who have young people in their family? What would you tell them that would be before I ask you that question, is there more to the PowerPoint, Sakina? Because I don't want to cut off your PowerPoint.
Oh yeah, there is more. Sorry.
Okay, so okay, why don't you go to the next and before, let me finish with Adnan, because I do have a question for him. And now, what would you say to the parents who are listening right now, the importance of why they should bring the young people to the farm?
So there's multiple reasons. So me personally, I've lived on the farm for a long time, and like the experiences you can learn, the things that you won't learn from the city. So, we've lived in the Herndon area, the Fairfax County. So we know the difference. And so we've also lived in the country and, on the farm. And there's so many things that we learned, and so many things that you wouldn't be able to learn if you were in the city. So, yes, I would definitely recommend that.
What are some of the activities would they be able to participate in? That's age appropriate. Would they be able to feed the chickens? Would they be getting up 6 o'clock in the morning and tell us about that? Tell us about that.
Composting, digging the compost, the pile that we have, collecting eggs, moving the cows milking the cows too.
We also have like projects that they could be building, like small little, hand projects they can also be building, handling the rabbits too. We have some other things that we might have some food from the farm that we might be cooking too, that we can show them how to do. And pretty much, yeah. And we'll also be doing survival stuff. So we might teach how to make a fire. We might go over how to, be self-sufficient, how to can, stuff like that, in various different ways.
And so if the groups come to spend the night, would they be participating in food preparation for the next morning? picking the eggs, cooking them, that kind of thing. Is all of that involved, Zakina?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Mhm.
They would be involved with them collecting their water from the well, processing their own animal. I do believe that, especially around the age of 12 and up, that they should know how to process halal meat. They should know how to, whether it's a rabbit, a chicken, they get a little bit older, they'll start moving up to lamb and go like this. But being able to know how to properly slaughter, the rules with it, the sharpness of the knife, even archery, being able to know how to, and these are the things that the boys are really into. They, catching game, hunting, things like that. But if, kids coming here, we want to make it where there's work involved, but it's also going to be fun. So we have a pond where we have fish. There's be fishing. There's lots of things that keep busy.
I understand. So I want to ask Adnan or Yusuf, can you explain this next slide for the listeners?
Yes.
You see it?
Slide. Hold on.
So the non-GMO, soy-free, all supplementary grains given to chickens. Whose job is that?
Oh, so that's my job when I feed the chickens, but what goes into the feed is what goes into your chickens. So non-GMO is basically where the chicken, chickens in stores, they more have GMO. That's not what we give. So we don't give them soy or non-GMO. So we have where it's organic, non-GMO, and soy. And soy-free has contained a lot of this is what she said again, the most causing of cancer, and so that's what we don't give to our chickens. So what the main important is what you put in your chickens, what you get to your chicken goes into you, and that makes you healthier. Important.
Wow. Can we go to the next slide, Zakina? Wow. Okay. So these are your chicken. Adnan, explain this.
Yes.
It's your job.
Oh, okay, yeah. So this was around a year ago when this picture was taken. So this is where we're moving the chickens, and we move the chicken tractors every day, to more acreage, and from spot to spot, so that they can eat the grass. So they're not just staying in one spot, because if they just stay in one spot, they're staying in their own filth. You don't want that. So we're moving them on grass. So so they're also grass fed too. So they're not only eating their food, but they're also eating the grass. So
there are these chicken tractors that we built that they go in and they're getting moved every day from new grass, and they're eating bugs and eating grass that they eat every day, and the feed that they eat that's non-GMO, soy free.
So tell me about what time is all of this going on? What time of the day?
From 6 to 8.
6 to 8 in the morning.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's go. This is, it is this story that it inspired me. It strengthened my faith. It made me realize that I should never complain again about anything, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided everything we need in order to be successful and to achieve our goals in life. He gave you the background, your military background. You got 9 kids, 8 children, a husband who's an educator. You have all of the tools. It is amazing. Let's go to the next slide.
Yes, so this is just, these are some of the things. We have whole chickens. We sell all the organ meats. We sell everything from the feet. There's people that want to make bone broths that you can't get this, you can't get this in the stores where you find the backs, and we do cut up parts. Like I said, organ meats, we do gizzards, liver, feet, backs, hearts, really nutritious organ meats. Even we have our own bone broth that we make. We do believe that it's a very good bone broth. This and we drink it like it's where you replace coffee. You just drink some bone broth in the morning. So you'll be able to find it on the website. So then we move into our raw milk. Again, this is raw. There's no processing. It's not homogenized or pasteurized. It had, we particularly chose brown Swiss cows, which are the original cow. So we're talking about the first cow, and so it hasn't been commercialized like the Holstein cows. You have high butter fat, you shake the jar and you're making butter like the old fashioned way. So and we consider these medicines. Like when you put a living food inside your body, this is medicine. This is what's going to help the gut. And with our herd share, if somebody for some reason doesn't want milk, we now introduce a flexible option where you can replace it with cheese, replace it with butter, replace it with yogurt, things like that. So this is just, we hand milk. We found that hand milking was cleaner than the machine. You get to see what the milk looks like going into the container. Here is my son and my daughter, my youngest daughter, helping the cow from the back.
How old is she?
She is 6. She's 6. She's 5 in that. She's 5 years old in that picture. But all of our animals are very friendly. No one gets hurt from them. You take good care of animals, they take care of you. And so now we went into the lamb, goat, and beef. We get our lamb and goats is processed through USDA mobile processing unit. And then we have where people can come to the farm and buy whole lamb and goat for eat. We have, this is our second year that we've had it. We've had about 100 families come, 100 people come out, and they were able to do the slaughter. So the way we do it is we either do it for you because you don't know how, you can do it, or we can show you how to do it. So we have those options there. You could stay and picnic with your family. We do understand we're some distance away from like the major cities. So people spend the day, kids playing with the goats and the rabbits, and we have lots of picnic tables and grills. And all of our lamb, goat, and beef is 100% grass-fed, never any feed given to them. We just don't do it, no matter what. That's really important to us.
Let me, before you go on, Zakina, let me just ask you, no, you can go to the next slide, but I have a quick question for you.
Okay.
That's being asked. So will there be a listing of where you ship, or do you ship anywhere in the United States?
We ship anywhere in the United States.
Okay. And so the contact information for you is in the chat?
Yes, and it'll be on the last slide.
Okay, then please keep going. Okay.
And this is just them processing lamb and goats for Kurbani, it's example. And these are our locations in Virginia. We have 11 drop-off locations within Virginia. We have where you can get, if you're in the DMV area, we do home delivery. If you spend over a certain amount is free. And then starting September 12th, we're shipping nationwide across the whole United States. And then just, this is just a slide just to tell you why is it even important? What's the whole reason? It's just, the numbers don't lie. It's just, they're richer in all of the type of vitamins because this is what they're supposed to eat naturally. So,
I can tell you, Sister Zakina, just looking at you, from one sister to another sister, you don't look like you have a care in the world. So this is all agreeing with you and your family. Your boys look healthy, and this is inspiring to everyone on the line. So keep going, Sister Zakina.
It's pretty much, we believe in the whole, you are what you eat. That's how we have to start looking at it. The grocery store, you see thousands of food. All of those foods they come from just a handful of things that we grow. They process them and they package it up and make it all these other things, but you can grow all your food in the backyard.
So
you
do you
really
have any staff besides, I understand about your family, but do you have staff that you've hired?
So I did hire staff last year, and the reason for this was because we have to get away sometimes. We wanted to go on a vacation for a week, and it does give the boys a break. It does let them get a break. But at the end of the day, I do see that the type of, mashallah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, I do believe my boys have work ethic. Right. So I'm always finding that challenging when I'm getting someone. I've been used to how the boys work and do things. So they're moving to the point of where they're training other people to do things. And they're becoming a manager.
Yeah, because your increase in volume is going to require you to have staff. And I was just wondering whether or not you would start maybe some internships in the summer for, certain ages of young people who are interested in agriculture and farming.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We've had numerous people ask us this, and this is what we're going into the next year. We're going to put that in place. We've had people come and stay on the farm and volunteer, like they did a farm stay where they slept and then they woke up into the farm chores with the boys. So we tried that out. And it was mashallah, it worked wonderful. So we're going to move forward with that next year.
I mean, just on this line, I can see from the responses that you're going to have an increase in volume. People are going to be ordering. I'm going to be ordering. Everybody is inspired by this because we had Akbar Salam on last week, who is in he sells halal meat. And we discussed about organic. I've not seen organic halal meat. They don't serve it. I mean, they say that Whole Foods has it. I don't know if I trust Whole Foods, but I do trust you. And so when you say organic halal, I'm placing my order on whatever meat, I eat. And I'm sure other people on this line are going to be doing the same thing. So let's move to your next slide because we are coming to our close.
This is just I won't go too much into it. Just an egg alone, a farm. If anybody was to change anything from a store-bought, I would definitely suggest eggs. Go to a farm near you. If you can see, beta carotene 7 times more in a farm egg than a store farm. I mean, it's not comparable to certain products. You have to get farm raised. Eggs is number one. That's number one. So, so these are just our future projects. The workshops, the school tours we're starting now. The summer camps and farm stays we are starting next year. And then the bigger project that we started this whole journey was the farm homestead retreat, where we have the 22 acres that's divided into parcels that we're going to have where people can come and larger groups can come. So we're going to start on that. Yes. Other things that we're doing is composting, gardening, woodworking, building, food storage and cooking. We do canning, dehydrating, things that we get from the garden. Composting is my favorite subject to talk about. I can give you 2-hour talk on just composting. It's the beginning. It's the beginning of it all. And it's amazing. It's an amazing thing.
And especially, let me just stop you there for a second. Just about the composting. I know that my daughter Naima and her husband do composting in their apartment. This is really very important. Yes. So I don't want to skip over this. I know we don't have the time to talk about it right now, but composting can be done in schools. It should be done in all of our schools. It should be done in our homes. I learned so much about composting and the food that we throw away and that can be useful. Just quickly, my son-in-law, he uses his composting to grow his strawberries on the balcony. They're growing vegetables on their Naima. And so just a moment on composting, on how important that is, please.
It's the beginning. You can't have anything without. So composting is pretty much just summarized. It's like how the cycle of life works. Everything must die for something to live. So all throughout the beginning of time, all of the things that have died has created our earth to be able to grow new things. You cannot grow without things dying. And so dying means, you know, are the leaves, the things from in your house. Animals, you know, you have a just say a chicken that dies, it goes into the compost, and it completely turns into soil within 2 weeks. SubhanAllah, this is amazing. Allah has created our earth like this to be just to work this way. I was, when we first started this composting, when I had to see it with my own eyes, to see something we started and then see what it became, it was hard I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it. If I wouldn't have known what was in there. And then I remember we were looking for, we're like, wait a minute. And then to see it's the actual soil. Yes.
It's solid organic material that, you know, forms like actual organic soil. So we have like a lot of like our dead, like any dead chickens, we can put it in our compost that turns into soil, or any of like old scraps or anything like that. And there's actually school behind like learning about like what goes into the compost and how to balance the brown materials with the green materials and mixing, you know, exactly what you need into the compost. And then it turns, it's like a cycle. It turns, you know, use that back into your soil where you grow vegetables and everything like that.
Adnan, you wanted to say something? Adnan, thank you for that, Yusuf. Adnan, you wanted to add a comment to that?
Yes.
Please.
So when we put the stuff, it all dissolves, and so it has carbon and hydrogen all inside of it, and that really helps out with the stuff, and it has fertilizer also in it too. We don't have to put any fertilizer in it, so we use it for the garden beds, and any fruits, any vegetables that go to waste, we put it back in there, and then it starts it again, you know. So
so on that note, we're gonna go ahead. No, Yusuf, I want to hear your comment, please.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, it's like a cycle. So you know, you have like the vegetables that you eat, and you have the scraps in it, and then you collect the seeds from that vegetable, and then so all I'm saying, it's like a cycle of when you know, harvest the vegetable, it gets back into, like, even with trees, like the way that trees form, like every time a tree grows, the leaves fall on the ground, and the leaves that fall on the ground become to compost that helps the trees, you know, still being able to live, that, you know, has the dirt around it and everything.
You know, on that note, we have to end, but I think this is the perfect place, because now everyone knows you. There's 200 people on here or more. Now they have been inspired by your story, by the commitment and the faith that you and your family. We want you to extend our salams to your husband. Let him know that we are making dua for him. And I wanted to say, Imam Muhammad said, if you want to have a conversation with God, if you want to know God, then look at his creation. Your boys have proven from their conversation. You have Layla 13, Zanab 11, Fatima 9, Aya and Sophia 6 and 7. They're beautiful. Sister Zakina, I want to look at this. Omari and Sakina, I want to just say thank you for sharing your personal story with us, for opening your life up to us. I will be making my reservation to come and come down and learn more about how to be one with nature. This is an amazing story. So everyone, please contact Fitra Farms. Make it a point to take our students, our seniors down. I want to just say to Imam Abdul Sharif, if you're on the line, I want to give you a minute to make a closing statement, because I know that you are involved in agriculture. He's in North Carolina, and so I know he's going to be contacting you. Imam Abdul Sharif. From North Carolina. Leave this slide, Sakina, so people can write this down. Imam Abdul Sharif, while we have this slide up, could you make closing comments and then close us out in prayer? You're on mute. Take yourself off of mute. Okay, go ahead. Naima, can you take Imam Sharif off of mute?
He is unmuted.
Okay. Imam, you're unmuted. You can go ahead and give us closing comments and close us out in prayer. We still don't hear him. I want to give Imam Abdul Sharif closing comments only because he is involved in farming and agriculture, not on this level, but we're expecting that he's going to be supporting Future Farms since. Go
Can you hear
ahead.
me? Fitcher?
Yes.
Praise to Allah. May Allah bless Fitcher Farms to continue to be goodness on the rise. This is great. And North Carolina, Wilmington, we're not that far away from you. So you'll definitely be hearing from us in Wilmington and our halal manager, Brother Abdul Rahim Ali. So with that in mind, let us all pray for their continued success to be a light for us as we move into this arena. And with that in mind, sister, would you like for me to close out with the dua?
Please. Would you please, Brother Imam?
Yes, ma'am. Oh Allah, bless us that we seek your light. Allah, bless us to acknowledge that you are the light of the heavens and the earth, light upon light. Oh Allah, perfect us for guiding us to your light. Oh Allah, bless our homes and our masajid, our sanctuaries to be lit with your light. And bless us with balance as we reflect your light in the public. Oh Allah, grant us that we be of those whom neither traffic nor merchandise can divert us from prayer, charity, nor from this practice of what is just and fair. All our bless us to understand the things that endure good deeds are best in your sight as rewards and best as a foundation for hope. Allow our hope to keep us on the path of trust and great expectation as we come closer together as a human family. Oh Allah, grant us that we guide and do justice in the light of truth and do not be used as an advocate by those who betray their trust. Oh Allah, bless us to stand out firmly for justice as witnesses to you, oh Allah, even as against our own selves, our kin, whether it be rich or poor, for you are Allah, the one God, can best protect us all. Bless us to ever hold strong to Al Quran, the life example of Prophet Muhammad, the tafsir and leadership of our Imam, Waladdin Muhammad Rahim alayhi. Ameen.
Ameen. Sakina, thank you 1,000 times. Adnan Yusuf, thank you. And inshallah, your phone will be ringing off the hook and you'll be getting all kinds of emails from the community, the love, share. And I end with love. All things are possible. Your family has proven that over and over again. And Allah never abandons the believer who calls upon him. May Allah bless you, reward you, and keep you continued success. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum.